So welcome guys, welcome to lecture number 3. Oh, sorry, my bad. This is lecture number 4. This is lecture number 4, right? I'm getting the number.
Yes.
This is 4. Yeah, this is 4. All right. Okay, so there was one question which we were discussing last time. So I told you, so we kind of discussed the entire thing and I asked you to please plot the second part of the question. So let's continue with that first, and then we will proceed further. So the question was as follows. Let me just take you back over there. So this was the question that there was one product and you had to buy at least 4 units of good X, and then you were paying a price P until you bought 17 units of that good X. And after buying 17 units, you were asked to pay 10% extra on every additional unit that you are going to purchase. And whatever the other good is, that is a numerator. So you had to set up the budget constraint. So we have set up the budget constraint. Now the second part is, please graphically show the budget set. So my budget set came out to be this. This was my budget set. This was my budget set, right? And then they also had one more condition that we buy at least 4 units of good X as well. So अब हमारा goal क्या है? We have to plot these. Is that all right? Fine.
Yes.
So let's do it. So I asked you to, kind of assume P to be 1 and M to be 100. But we can also do these things in general. So let me do the general things and then try to see how to proceed. And then, once you put values, then it is even simpler. Okay? Does that sound good?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, चलो तो हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं फिर. तो सबसे पहले what is it that I'm going to plot? First of all, what am I going to see? I'll make a straight line. X-axis, Y-axis. This is done. So this is X-axis, Y-axis, right? Now, what should I do? Ab uske baad, let's start with this. So right now, whenever you are supposed to plot these kind of things, just forget this exists. Just make the line without thinking about this. So what would be the budget line if this is the equation? If you only have this, what will you do? So if you only have this part, how will you draw the budget line?
Ma'am, Px plus y is equal to m.
Px plus y is equals to m. So what will I do? So this is my first thing.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Ma'am, here you give the assumed value of P and M also.
Yeah, but I'm giving you how to draw it in general.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
So, once you know how to do it in general, you can do the assumed case as well, right?
Okay, madam.
So first of all, what you will do, when x value is 0,
Then y is equal to m.
yeah, so y value is m. And when y value is 0, what is the value of x?
M by p.
M by p, right? So my equation is going to be something like this. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay, very nice. So we are not, and we know that this is the case when x is less than or equal to 17. But right now, we are not concerned about it. Okay. Now, let's try to come to the second point, which is this, that this is 1.1 px plus y is less than or equal to, so the less than equal to will become what? equals to m plus 1.7p, right? So tell me, what is the value of y when x is 0? When x is 0, what is the value of y?
M plus 1.7t.
M plus 1.7p. So tell me, is this greater than m or something which is less than m? M plus something.
Greater.
Greater.
So this is going to be something which is greater than m, right? So this is something like this. थोड़ा सा ऊपर होगा, right? So m plus 1.7p. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Acha. Tell me now, what is the value of x when y is 0?
M plus 1.7t upon 1.1t.
This, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you think is going to be the case now? X is equals to m by p into 10 by 11 plus 17 by 11,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So do you, maybe, can you say anything about which one is bigger, whether this is big or this is big? Can you say something like that?
Ma'am, m by p into 10 by 11, this is bigger than 17 by 11.
Why?
Ma'am, because when we'll take out the value, it's coming out to be 1.40 m by p. But so
So when will they be equal, for example? So let's say, when is this bigger? When is this bigger? Suppose this is bigger. When is that possible? This will become what? इसको आप इधर लेके आओगे?
Yes, ma'am.
And what will it become? 11 by 11 m by p minus. So this is m by p minus 10 by 11. M by p is less than 17 by 11. यही हो जाएगा ना?
yes, ma'am.
Right? So यहाँ पे जब आप इसको subtract करोगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? 1 by 11 m by p is less than 17 by 11. Yes.
M by p
Yes.
is
So
7.
if m by p, so I can cancel 11 by 11. So if m by p is less than 17, if I give you that m by p is less than 17, then you can say this is less than this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise,
It will-
otherwise,
M by p will be greater than M by p to 10 by 11 plus 17.
otherwise, it is the other way around, right?
So, yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we cannot say anything for sure. ऐसा हो सकता है कि ये point यहाँ पे भी हो, या ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि ये point यहाँ पे हो, right?
Yes, ma'am.
वाला जो point है, ये वाला point clear हो गया? Everybody clear with this point? Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
everybody. Ananya, Anshika, Aryaki, Bhavya, Chetan,
Yes, ma'am.
Durga, Manju, Ridhima, Shashi, Tanya, Vanya.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, your new academic calendar is out. So your classes are going to start from 1st of August. पता चल गया होगा सबको?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So happy holidays.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ठीक है. So Fine. So we can be in a situation wherein my point horizontal intercept is here, or we can also have a situation wherein the vertical intercept is here, right? So we can't really say anything, but for now, let's say what happens. So using the example that was given, using the example that I gave you, what was the case? P value was 1, M value was 100. So what should be the case? What was M by P? Less than 17 or greater than 17?
Greater.
Greater. So in that case, what will happen? This point is not bigger. This will be less, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So that means we will have it somewhere here. है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
So right now we are not sure what is happening, but suppose M by P is greater than 17. Hence, M by P times 10 by 11 plus 17 by 11. This lies to the left of M by P. Is that all right? So this is just one assumption that we are making, because otherwise we are stuck. We will not be able to proceed unless we have some numerical data, right? So far, so good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, तो हमारा एक पॉइंट यहाँ पे आ गया. It is somewhere here. So what is this? This is M by P 10 by 11 plus 17 by 11. ये मेरा पॉइंट आ गया. तो मेरी जो दूसरी लाइन है, my second line is going to be something like this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. And I know that this line is relevant only when x is greater than 17. And this line is relevant. So this black line, this blue line is relevant only if this x value, this is x value, this is y value. So only, so there must be some 17 value here. So whenever x is less than 17, I should look at which line? This blue line, right? And whenever x takes value greater than 17, I should look at this red line. यही मतलब है ना इसका?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So what we should do is we should try to look at this intersection. Where is this intersection? Is my 17 to the left of it or to the right of it? So how do I find the intersection point of two lines? How do I do that? दो lines का intersection कैसे निकालते हैं?
By equating them.
So what will I do? I have to find the intersection point, this intersection point. So one of the equations is this, px plus y is equals to m. The other equation is 1.1 px plus y is equals to m plus, what was it? Yeah, 1.7 p. So what should I do? Can I find the value of y from here? What is y here? M minus px. And I can put this y value here. So this is 1.1 px plus m minus px is equals to m plus 1.7 p. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So what do we have here? This m will get cancelled with this m. है ना? This is px. This is 1.1 px. So what do I get? 0.1 p times x. And this is 1.7 p. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this also get cancelled. And what is the value of x?
17.
17. So where is this intersection happening? At 17? Right? So what can I say? That this is 17. So to the left of this, which line is relevant for me? The blue line, this one, right? This one. Whenever x is less than 17, I look at this line. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And whenever x is greater than 17, I'll start looking at the red line. है कि नहीं? Yes, no,
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
yes.
Ma'am, here, what is the need to find an intersection point? Will you please repeat?
So I wanted to find, so 17 is my breaking point, right? Where my budget line is changing.
Yes, ma'am.
So I wanted to know कि 17 यहाँ तो नहीं है या यहाँ तो नहीं है.
Okay, ma'am.
क्योंकि मान लो 17, if 17 would have been here, what would I have done? इधर ऐसे होता और फिर ऐसे होता, something like this. अगर वो ऐसा कुछ होता तो then I would have done this and then I would have done this.
Okay, ma'am.
So I wanted to know the intersection in order to know in which section I have to look at which part. So because this is the intersection, so I know to the left of this, I have to look at this line. To the right of this, I have to look at this line. So what is my relevant?
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Is it always true that the intersection point will be the 17, or in a different case that the value which we take is less than or equal to more than 1?
If they are something of this sort, whenever that, if they are making you pay for additional units, if the price changes are only on the additional units, the intersection will usually be where the equations are changing. But you can have situations where the intersection is different and your equations are changing at different points.
Okay, ma'am.
तो ये कोई हम लोग ऐसे कोई रूल नहीं मान सकते हैं इसको.
Okay, ma'am.
ऑलराइट. सो ये वाली लाइन इसके बाद रेलेवेंट नहीं है. तो मेरे लिए जो रेलेवेंट बजट लाइन है वो क्या हो जाएगी? दिस एरिया, दिस एंटायर लाइन एंड देन दिस एंटायर लाइन, राइट? सो व्हाट इज माय बजट सेट? दिस एंटायर एरिया. एंड फिर इन्होंने हमसे एक और कंस्ट्रेंट प्लॉट करने को बोला है, विच इज व्हाट? That x is greater than or equal to 4, right? So that is somewhere here. तो कोई ऐसी लाइन बनेगी जिसके इस तरफ का एरिया हमारे लिए रेलेवेंट रहेगा, राइट? बिकॉज दिस इज x लेस देन 4, दिस इज x ग्रेटर देन 4, बिकॉज क्योंकि मुझे ये वाली लाइन भी प्लॉट करनी थी ना, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the area which is relevant for me just becomes this. ये वाला एरिया रह जाता है हमारे लिए. ये एरिया बस रह जाता है विच इज रेलेवेंट. तो अब आप इसके अंदर जो आपके लिए बेस्ट चॉइस है वो आप चूज करो. ये ऑप्शंस हैं. whatever suits you the best, whatever gives you the most happiness, you pick that, right? Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine with everyone? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, चलो. So we had to do it like this. All right. So let's try to do this case study today. So you guys are aware of all the terminologies that we've discussed so far, right? What is tax? What is rationing? What is subsidy? All these things, right? So today what we are going to do is we are going to understand a particular program which was applicable in the US, and we will try to see what is the amount of subsidy, and in such situations, if we have to plot or make budget lines, how will we do that? All right. So there was a Food Stamp Act of 1964 by the US government, wherein they used to provide subsidy on food. Okay. So अब वो the subsidies that were provided, they were provided in different formats. So now I am explaining you one of the format which was applicable. So please understand the details of that program in detail, because we are going to use those details to make the budget line based on this information. Okay. So before 1979, the households who met certain eligibility requirements, they were allowed to purchase food stamps. Food stamp का मतलब क्या हो सकता है कि you guys have seen railway tickets, right? You guys have seen movie tickets, physical movie tickets. Nowadays everything is online. But physical copies देखी हैं. उसी तरीके से you can assume that there are food stamps. If somebody has that food stamp, it gives them the opportunity for a few benefits. I will tell you what those benefits are. All right. So what are those benefits? So if people have food stamps, which could then be used to purchase food at retail outlets. So if you have, let's say, that piece of stamp, or let's say this is food, let's say they have a stamp of this format. If you have that stamp, it allows you to purchase food at retail outlets. In January 1975, so they are telling you the details about the program. A family of 4 could receive a maximum monthly allotment of $153 in food coupons, food stamps, by participating in this particular program. ठीक है? So family of 4, जिनकी income के basis पे कोई ना कोई criteria होगा, there must be some criteria, they can get a maximum monthly allotment of $153. What does that mean? The maximum amount of food that they can potentially purchase using whatever food stamps that they get is $153, right? So this is the maximum allotment. This is maximum food allotment. So the prices of these coupons to the household depended on household incomes. So what was the situation? What was the program like? Let me explain. So there were families of 4. Unke income pe there were some certain criteria. Based on that, there were charges for those food coupons which allowed them to buy the food at certain prices. So if the monthly income of a family of 4 is $300, so if family of 4 has a monthly income of $300, they used to pay $83 for full monthly allotment of food stamps. So what does that mean? They used to pay $83 if they want to use full $153 worth of food. So they could, so if they had a family income of 300, so that was the criteria कि जिसकी income 300 है वो ये scheme के अंडर आएगा, और जिसकी family income 100 है वो अलग scheme के अंडर आएगा. So the people who had a income criteria, let's say 300, they used to pay $83 to get the items worth $153. Is this scheme clear?
मैम इस स्कीम में 300 से अगर कम अगर इनकम हो तब भी वो फर्स्ट वाली में ही आएगा.
300 से कम हो गया तो फिर तो वो 100 भी उसी में इंक्लूड होना चाहिए.
मैम एग्जैक्ट 300 की बात करें, मतलब उससे या उससे कम, वो सब नहीं है इसमें।
मान लो कि सबको एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रैकेट है, एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रैकेट ऑफ इनकम है, मान लो 250 से 350, सबको 300 के ब्रैकेट में ही मान लिया गया है सपोज।
ओके।
सो इन लोगों के लिए एक पर्टिकुलर स्कीम एप्लीकेबल कर दी, और एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रैकेट है जिनको इनकम ब्रैकेट $100 मान लिया गया है, जिनको एक पर्टिकुलर अदर स्कीम में उन्होंने पुट कर दिया है। एंड व्हाट वाज देयर स्कीम, that they had to pay $25 to buy items worth $153. These were the two different schemes which were applicable. ये चीज क्लियर हो गई?
यस मैम।
The
Yes,
main
ma'am.
thing, the main thing which is relevant for you is this. The main thing which is relevant for you is this, that they were paying lesser amount to get $153 worth of items, right? So is this a subsidy or not?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So if what is happening, कि I am able to buy products worth $153. If there were no subsidy, I had to get $153 out of my pocket and then pay it to them. But now instead of 153, what am I doing? I'm only paying $83, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a subsidy only,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
There are some institutions like IIT Delhi, if you have been there. So there are some food outlets where the pricing is subsidized. So if you go and let's say, so there, I am aware of one, which is CCD, Cafe Coffee Day. If you go there, if you go to any other outlet outside, they charge you whatever their price is. But if you go inside the campus, they have a smaller price. Let's say maybe 75% of what you would pay outside. So अगर बाहर आपको 100 rupees पे करने हैं, तो अंदर maybe 75 या 50 पे करने हैं. So that is subsidized rate, right? ठीक है? अच्छा, so tell me, in this case, if you pay $1, how much amount worth of food will you be able to buy, or were they able to buy? तो $83 पे उनको $153 वर्थ ऑफ फूड मिल रहा था, राइट? तो अगर वो $1 पे करते तो उनको कितना अमाउंट मिल रहा होता? यूनिट
मैम 6.12
6.12 कैसे? 6.12 कैसे?
मैम 153 डिवाइडेड बाय 25।
25 पे तो आए ही नहीं है, हम तो यहाँ पे हैं अभी.
ओके मैम।
Ma'am, could you repeat the question?
My question is, they were paying $83 and they were getting items worth 153, right? So now if they
Yes,
pay
ma'am.
$1, how much amount of worth of food will they be able to buy?
मैम 1.84।
So how do you do that?
मैम 153 डिवाइडेड बाय 83।
So are we okay with how we have done this?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was the number, Anshika? 1 point?
मैम 84337 करके आगे तक है।
So इसको हम लोग approximately 1.84 ही बोल देते हैं, right? तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि अगर मैं $1 खर्च करूं तो मैं $1 का सामान नहीं, $1.84 का सामान खरीद सकती हूँ, राइट? यस?
Yes, ma'am.
So similarly, similar logic say, if I kind of ask you the same thing, that if you have even lower income if you fall under the category of $100 income, monthly income. So what did they used to get? They had to pay $25 to get items worth of $153. So how much amount they were paying? So if they were paying $1, how much amount worth of food they were able to buy?
6.12.
6.12.
So how did you do that? 153 divided by 25. So what is that? 6.12.
12.
12.
6.12 dollars worth of food, right? अच्छा, तो ये तो हम लोग क्वेश्चन समझ गए दोनों. अच्छा, अब हमें अगर if somebody asks us or maybe we are asked this question, how much subsidy is being given to us? So how will we explain that? कितनी सब्सिडी मिली है हमें?
Ma'am, 153
58.
minus 83.
83.
How much subsidy? So how will we do that? You said
153 minus 83.
153 minus 83. So actually you were supposed to pay 153, but you only paid 83. So who paid for the rest? The government,
Yes, ma'am.
right? And if you have to find the percentage of subsidy, then what? What should I divide it by?
153.
Yes, ma'am. 153.
Because that was my
Original.
product cost,
Hmm.
right? So what is this?
.457.
So this is 20 and 50. 70 divided by 50, 153, right? 70 divided by 153. So how much is this?
0.46.
0.057.
Point
0.5.
फिर से बोलो point
Or 0.45.
045.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am,
0.46.
4.5.
I mean, it's given 0.457, so rounded off it will be 0.46.
अच्छा, मेरे को ये बताओ कि मैं इसको 84 से डिवाइड करूंगी, सॉरी 83 से डिवाइड करूंगी कि 153 से डिवाइड करूंगी?
Ma'am, 153.
ओरिजिनल प्राइस से होगा मैम.
ठीक है, ओरिजिनल प्राइस क्या है?
153.
ठीक है, तो व्हाट इज 70 बाय 153?
अप्रॉक्स 40%. 46 या 45.
46%.
70 divided by 153.
0.46.
बट आपकी जेब से 153 तो कभी गया ही नहीं ना,
यस मैम.
तो फिर आप 153 कैसे कॉस्ट मान रहे हो?
Ma'am, the original cost, as we were talking about.
What
The market price is 153 ना मैम.
Just a second. So I am saying for $184 worth of food, I am paying $1. Yeah, so what am I saying? Just a minute. What am I saying? How do you define subsidy? Subsidy आप इस तरीके से देखते हो कि कितना amount the other party is paying, right? So if you are buying 1.84 worth dollars of food, you are only paying $1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? तो basically $0.84 is being paid by the government, right? For every dollar you pay. है कि नहीं? So as a percentage of the food price, yeah, I think the previous method that we were using was fine. We were taking the difference and then dividing by 153. That seems fine to me. है कि नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was the, yeah.
Ma'am, here how you say that $0.84 is a subsidy amount? Will you please pardon it?
Yeah, so एक तरीके से मैं $1 पे करके $1.84 के अमाउंट का फूड कंज्यूम कर पा रही हूँ, राइट?
Yes, ma'am.
तो मान लो जो भी शॉपकीपर है वो तो अपना खर्चा लेगा,
Yes, ma'am.
तो उसको $1 तो मैं दे रही हूँ,
Yes, ma'am.
तो बाकी बचा हुआ फिर उसको कहीं ना कहीं से मिल रहा होगा.
Okay, ma'am. Now clear.
So
Thank you.
that is being provided by the government, right?
जी.
ठीक है, तो we will just take the difference and divide by my original price, which we were doing initially there as well. So what will we do here? यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे सब्सिडी निकालने के लिए?
153 minus 25 divided by 153.
153 minus 25 divided by 153.
153.
What do we get? What is the number that you get? So this is 100.
0.83.
0.83.
83.
So this much subsidy is being provided. And here, what was my number?
0.45.
0.45. So this much subsidy is being provided. So this is, अगर मैं percentage में बात करूँ तो कितना percent?
83%.
83% subsidy, which is huge, right?
इसमें 153 से हम क्यों डिवाइड कर रहे हैं?
Because that is my original price of the good that I am buying.
खाली डिफरेंस ही सब्सिडी नहीं होगा. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मुझे 10 रुपए की चीज 5 रुपए में मिल रही है तो 5 रुपीज की सब्सिडी मुझे मिली.
आप जब subsidy, when you quote subsidy, how will you quote it? That government will subsidize 50% of the product cost, let's say. ठीक है? So let's say product cost is 10 rupees. So what will that mean?
Ma'am, half of the price.
They will give half of
Yes.
it you give, right?
Yes.
So if the product cost is 10, 5 rupees you pay, 5 the government will pay.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did this 5% came? 50% came. We took the amount which the government was giving, divided by what was the cost of the product, which was 10.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are doing the same thing here. What is the cost of my product? My product is costing $153, right? I
Yes,
am
ma'am.
only paying 83 or I am only paying 25. But rest the
Ma'am,
government is paying.
yes, ma'am.
So that is how we are calculating the subsidy percentages, subsidy rate.
Ma'am, does that mean how much percentage of the original cost has been given?
How much percentage of the original cost is given?
Yes, ma'am.
So 83% सब्सिडी का मतलब ये है कि अगर प्रोडक्ट 100 रुपए का है, 83% या 83 rupees government is paying. You are only paying 17 rupees. This is what it means. Is that all right?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, ये चीज क्लियर हो गई?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. All good so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
जी.
Ma'am, here we also calculate subsidy by dividing 0.84 by 1.84.
0.84, which is the amount that the government is paying, divided by 1.8.
1.84.
Yes. It's the same thing.
Okay, ma'am.
Because you just divided everything by 153. I mean, you've divided everything by 83.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the same thing. You will get the same answers.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So far, everybody is clear how we calculated the subsidy percentage first. How we are calculating that if we are paying $1, how much we are, able to get in dollar terms. All that is fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So now we have a task in front of us. We have to do the following. So now our task is to make a budget line. Now my task is to make a budget line and I have two goods. First good is expenditure on food. Second good is expenditure on everything else. So my first good is expenditure on food. My second good is expenditure on everything else. What does that mean? That means my good is not how many units of, let's say, roti I'm consuming. No, that is how much money I'm spending on food. And my second good is how much expenditure I'm doing on all the other things. So this is, let's say, my good X, and this is my good Y. And X is in terms of rupees, and Y is also in terms of rupees. All right?
Dollar, ma'am.
Yeah, dollar. Okay, dollar. ठीक है? Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the price of $1 expenditure on food? 1. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the price of $1 expenditure on everything else? 1. Yes?
Ma'am, but price of food is 153. ma'am.
Abhi bhul jao. We're not getting into anything else right now. If I just give you this much detail, and if I
Okay.
tell you your income is M, so what will be your budget line? X
X
plus
plus Y
Y
is equal
is equals
M.
to M.
So
Because
M.
price here is 1, the price here is also 1, and this is your income, right? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? क्योंकि यहाँ पे P times X, what is P times X? P times X यही तो होता है कि इतनी यूनिट्स हैं, उनका कॉस्ट इतना है, तो मल्टीप्लाई करके that tells me what is my expenditure on food. And P times Y, this tells me what is the expenditure on good Y. But अब good X खुद expenditure ही है, good Y खुद expenditure ही है. So that means the prices of these two goods that I'm calling, that is one, right?
मैम खुद ही एक्सपेंडिचर है, इसका क्या मीनिंग है इसमें?
कि इसका मतलब है कि मैं 1 रुपए अगर फूड पे खर्च कर रही हूँ तो उसको मैं ऐसे बोल रही हूँ कि आई एम गेटिंग 1 यूनिट ऑफ फूड. दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग.
मैम इसको ऐसे ले सकते हैं कि $1 में मुझे एक पैकेट मिल रहा है कोई भी खाने की चीज का, तो वो उतने यूनिट्स हो गए.
हाँ, आप अपना यू कैन अज्यूम इट लाइक दैट इन फॉर योर ओन विजुअलाइजेशन, बट डजंट नेसेसरली मीन you will get something 1 packet in that amount. Your good is not unit of any particular food item. Your good is the expenditure that you are doing on food. So if you're doing 100, if you're spending $100, 100 units of expenditure has been done on food. If you're doing 101 units, 101 units of expenditure has been done on food. And what is the cost of that expenditure? $1. Because 1 extra unit meaning you're spending $1 more. Your expenditure is increasing by $1, right?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes.
ठीक है?
Yes.
तो हम ये कर रहे हैं. This is what we are doing. So, guys, what did they tell you? So my goal is to, let's say, draw the budget line in this case. Okay? In this case. In this particular scheme. You can also make the budget line in this scheme. But let's try to make the budget line in this scheme first. Okay? So what did they tell you? How much maximum amount of, this food program scheme I can use? Maximum इससे मैं कितना food consume कर सकती हूँ इस scheme के through?
$153.
$153. If I want to consume food beyond $153, can I use this scheme?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No. So one important, deciding factor is $153 for me, right? So
Yes.
my expenditure, so this is, so I have two things. So on the x-axis, I have expenditure on food. Okay. And this is expenditure on everything else. Right? Either here, rather than writing expenditure on food, I can say dollars worth of food. Okay. This is X, right? Fine.
Yes, sir.
So if I have $153 worth of food getting consumed here, I will not be able to apply this scheme here. And if I have to, let's say, consume $154 worth of food, what will I have to do? I have to spend $1 from my pocket.
Yes, ma'am.
And what will that lead to? $1 less for expenditure on everything else.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
तो ये दोनों चीजों में what is the rate at which we are exchanging thing? What is P1 and what is P2 if this x is greater than 153?
That P1 is greater than P2 by 1 moles. Or we could say that P2 plus P1, P2 plus 1 is equal to P1.
What is P1? Price
P1 is the price of good X.
It will be 153 if x is more than 153.
अच्छा, price is 153. Wow.
Because
Price of food, price of expenditure on food, price of expenditure on everything else. Once you are out of the scheme, nobody is
both are 1-1.
subsidizing. Nobody is subsidizing your
yeah,
food.
okay.
What is happening? Nobody is subsidizing your food. तो क्या हो रहा है?
Ma'am, both are equal.
Okay, both are equal, but how much?
Ma'am, $1 more.
1 because they are money ना, expenditure on food. It's money. अभी तो बताया था मनी का प्राइस क्या होता है? 1. Yes.
मैम ये 1-1 वाला समझ नहीं आया.
100 रुपए का प्राइस कितना है? 100 रुपए मतलब 100 यूनिट. तो 1 यूनिट का प्राइस कितना?
1.
दिस इज व्हाट वी आर सेइंग.
मैम पैसों को यूनिट में कैसे ले रहे हैं?
Money is my good is not food. My good is how much expenditure I am doing on food. So if I'm spending $1 more on food, how many more units of expenditure am I doing on food? 1 unit. देखो, दो चीजें हैं. एक है मेरा गुड खाना, ठीक है?
यस मैम.
ये है खाना. एक है कि इस खाने को खरीदने के लिए कितने पैसे लगे. ठीक है?
यस मैम.
ठीक है. एक मैं बोल दूं कि दिस इज एक्स एंड दिस इज एक्स. इस एक्स में 1 यूनिट ऐड करने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? मान लो एक बर्गर और एक पेप्सी का कॉम्बो दोबारा लेना है, तो क्या करना पड़ेगा?
मैम 1 यूनिट और पैसे लगाने पड़ेंगे.
1 यूनिट पैसे लगाने पड़ेंगे. क्या करना पड़ेगा बताओ?
मैम $1 लगाने पड़ेंगे.
$1 कैसे लगाओगे? 1 यूनिट.
मैम बिकॉज वो
right
एक्स
now, right now you have X units of this combo. You have X units of this meal.
यस मैम.
You want 1 more unit of this combo. How much expenditure will you have to do? Whatever is the price of this combo,
यस मैम.
right? अब प्राइस मान लो 100 है, तो आपको एक्स्ट्रा खर्चा कितना करना पड़ेगा? 100 यूनिट्स ना, 100 रुपीज, $100, whatever it is.
मैम 100.
आपने 2 मील खरीदी ये, ठीक है? एक मील 100 रुपए में आती है, ठीक है?
यस मैम.
आपको एक और मील खरीदनी है, तो कितने एक्स्ट्रा पैसे लगाओगे?
100 रुपीज.
तो आपने 300 रुपए खर्च कर दिए.
यस मैम.
तो यहाँ पे आपका गुड कितना था कि कितनी मील्स खा रहे हो आप, राइट?
यस मैम.
हाउ मेनी मील्स? यहाँ पे गुड क्या था? मील्स.
यस मैम.
यहाँ पे गुड क्या है? मनी एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन फूड. इट्स नॉट फूड, इट्स एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन फूड.
यस मैम.
सो अगर आपकी एक्स की वैल्यू अभी 200 है, ठीक है?
यस मैम।
और अगर आपको इस गुड की 1 यूनिट इंक्रीज करनी है,
यस मैम।
तो आपको अगर आपको x की वैल्यू 1 यूनिट इंक्रीज करनी है, तो आपको कितना प्राइस पे करना पड़ेगा?
मैम 100 रुपीज।
100 रुपीज कैसे? दैट इज माई क्वेश्चन।
मैम क्योंकि एक एक्स्ट्रा मील 100 की आएगी, तो अगर हमें 1 यूनिट ऑफ मील और चाहिए तो
1
100
यूनिट ऑफ
रुपीज।
मील चाहिए, ये किसने बोला आपको? 1 यूनिट ऑफ मील तो यहाँ चाहिए थी। यहाँ पे गुड है कि एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन फूड क्या हुआ है, एक्स इज एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन फूड इन दिस केस।
यस मैम।
तो मुझे अगर एक्स की क्वांटिटी 1 यूनिट बढ़ानी है, एक्स इज एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन फूड. If I have to increase expenditure on food by 1 unit, how much money will I have to spend?
1 rupees.
1 rupees, right?
यस मैम।
So what is the price of X? अगर आप किसी एक क्वांटिटी इंक्रीज करोगे, उसके लिए कितना एक्सपेंडिचर करोगे, वही तो प्राइस होता है ना?
मैम प्राइस हम जैसे चीजों का लगाते हैं, पैसों का प्राइस, ये थोड़ा सा कंसेप्ट लग रहा है।
हाँ, तो मैं वही तो आपको समझा रही हूँ ना, कि अगर if your good is not any physical quantity but money, then your price is 1.
यस मैम।
Right? This is what I'm saying. If your good is not any quantity, any physical quantity, but the money that you spend on it, then the price of whatever that quantity is, that is 1, right?
यस
ये आप ये बात बताओ, ये चीज समझ आई आपको?
यस मैम।
नहीं आई? आई नहीं आई?
ये आ गई मैम।
ये आ गई ना?
एक्सपेंडिचर।
कि
यस।
अगर आपका एक्स, आप ये नहीं मान रहे हो कि कितनी मील्स खा रहे हो, बट रादर कि कितना खर्चा हो रहा है, तो खर्चा अगर 1 यूनिट बढ़ाओगे, तो उसके लिए कितना पैसा देना पड़ रहा है? 1 यूनिट.
यस।
तो एक्सपेंडिचर ऑन फूड का प्राइस कितना हो गया? 1.
यस।
दिस इज व्हाट वी आर सेइंग, राइट? ठीक है. सो आफ्टर द स्कीम इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल, you will have to spend $1 to get $1 worth of food, and you will have to spend $1 if you want to do anything else, right? So P1 is 1 and P2 is also 1. Yes, right?
यस मैम।
But do we have the same situation when X is less than 153? When X is less than 153, what is happening?
For every $1 of food, it's worth $6.12.
So for every $1 of food, for every $1 worth of food, so if you want to get $1 more worth of food, how much money you will have to extract from here? Entire $1?
No, ma'am.
No, something less, right? Because the government is giving you subsidy,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes.
So what is that amount?
Since 87% is subsidy,
Yeah.
so for $1 we have to reduce 3 is subsidy, so we have to reduce $0.17.
So since 83% of the payment is being done by government, so what will happen? That if I want to increase my food consumption by $1 worth extra, how much amount of money will I have to get from the other items? Only $0.17,
Yes.
right?
तो मैम 0.7 कहाँ से आया ये वाला ना?
तो आपको सब्सिडी ये पता है?
यस मैम।
तो सब्सिडी का अमाउंट, गाइस एग्जैक्ट नंबर क्या आया था, एक बार ही बताना.
मैम किसका?
दिस डिविजन 153 divided by 25. ये कितना नंबर आया था हमारे पास? 153 minus 25 divided by 153. Can you give me the number in more decimals?
1.8366.
0.83666, and then it'll keep repeating, right?
No, ma'am, 66013.
Okay. So even if you try to approximate it, it'll come out to be 84, right? ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
So what does this mean? This is my percentage of subsidy. है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what is my budget line usually? P1 X1 plus, or maybe you can say PXX plus PYY is equals to M. यही होता है ना?
Yes,
और
ma'am.
अगर कोई सब्सिडी लग जाए तो क्या होता है?
1 minus sigma.
1 minus sigma. So if X is food, if expenditure on food, if Y is expenditure on everything else, what will be my new price?
Price minus subsidy.
So it will be 1 minus sigma px times x plus py times y is equals to m. यही होता है,
Yes, ma'am.
राइट? तो अभी हम लोग थोड़ा मैथमेटिकली भी देख रहे हैं इस चीज को, है ना? तो in this case, what was my situation if there would be no subsidy, nothing? My price of expenditure on food is 1. My price of expenditure on everything else is also
1.
So it would have been x plus y is equals to m.
Yes, ma'am.
But now
Yes,
what has
ma'am.
happened? Somebody is paying some amount on my behalf,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much subsidy are they giving? 84%
54%
on expenditure on food,
expenditure
right?
on food.
So what is this? 1 minus 0.84.
0.84.
What is price of expenditure on food? 1.
1.
So this is x plus
Y.
5.
this is also 1. Yes, this is y is equals to m, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
But what situation are we in right now? That this scheme is only applicable till what point? Till
$153.
$153, है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
After that,
For
my
everything.
other after
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
this scheme comes into picture.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I have to draw, make everything mathematically, what will be my equation? If x is less than or equal to 153, this scheme is applicable.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So what is this? 0.16
16
x
x
plus
plus 5.
is equals to my income. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
After that, if x exceeds 153,
Yes, ma'am. Then x plus y is equal
X
to m.
plus y equals to m.
so okay. So now I have to pay one rupee, $1. That is my price, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But how much expenditure would have I done from my own pocket in order to be in that situation? मैं अगर इस स्कीम को एक्सीड कर जाऊं, उसके लिए मुझे अपनी जेब से कितना खर्चा करना पड़ा कि मुझे 153 के भी ऊपर अब फूड चाहिए? तो मतलब मैंने $25 ऑलरेडी स्पेंड कर लिए थे,
Yes, ma'am.
क्योंकि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई
Yes,
विल
ma'am.
ट्राई टू get the food in the cheapest manner possible. And still after that, if I want food, then I'll say, chalo, now let's start paying money from our own pocket. Yes. So you have already made an expenditure of how much? $25? Yes.
Yes.
ma'am.
So you have paid $25 to get the food worth of $153. And after that, what is the rate of exchange? 1:1, 1:1, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
This is what is the situation right now. So what will happen here? Beyond this, X plus Y, this is the rate. Expenditure on this will be X minus. Yeah. This is X minus 153, right? Anything that you buy beyond 153. Okay. Guys, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah. Okay, coming back. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Can you see my screen, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, coming back. Yes. So, what are we saying? That my income should be equal to what? What is the price that I'm paying?
X plus Y is equal to M.
So, I have a good X, then I have a good Y also, right?
Will
Yes,
it be
ma'am.
M minus 25?
We're coming to that. Yes. So, अब ये बताओ, ये जो good X है, प्राइस 1 जो है वो कब लग रहा है? आफ्टर हाउ मेनी यूनिट्स?
53.
153 के बाद ही लग रहा है?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
यस. तो क्या मुझे इसको ऐसे लिखना चाहिए कि इस पे हम लोग 1 प्राइस दे रहे हैं? यस.
Yes, ma'am.
है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
और इसके पहले हमने कितना प्राइस दिया है? 0.16 times 153. What is approximately 0.16 times 153? कितना आएगा ये? ये 25 आएगा शायद.
Yes, ma'am. 24.48.
तो ये एग्जैक्टली हमारा 24 का लॉजिक है, 25 है जो आ रहा है, जो हम एक्सपेंडिचर कर रहे हैं, राइट?
मैम इसमें 0.16 में 153 क्यों मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं?
आप इस तरफ क्या निकाल रहे हो? व्हाट आर यू डूइंग हियर? टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर दैट यू आर डूइंग, राइट?
यस मैम.
है ना? So after 153 units, you have started to pay 1 rupee entirely for getting 1 unit of food. Earlier, your food was subsidized, so you were paying 0.16 to get $1 worth of food till
Yes.
153 units, right? तो ये जो 1 प्राइस है ये तो 153 के बाद ही एप्लीकेबल होगा ना,
यस मैम।
है ना। तो अब मैं मान लो ये बोल दूं कि आप 10 नोटबुक्स जो है वो 10 रुपए में ले सकते हो, और उसके बाद जितनी भी नोटबुक्स लोगे वो मैं आपको 5 रुपए में दूंगी या दूंगा, जो भी है। तो
यस
इसका क्या मतलब है? और मान लो आपकी एक्स की वैल्यू इज ग्रेटर देन 15, तो आप कैसे निकालोगे एक्सपेंडिचर?
मैम 10 रुपीज 5.3।
तो अगर एक्स की वैल्यू ग्रेटर देन 15 है तो इसका मतलब यू मस्ट हैव बॉट 10 नोटबुक्स फॉर श्योर।
मैम 5 मल्टीप्लाई बाय x-15।
एक्स माइनस 15, दिस 5 प्राइस इज एप्लीकेबल व्हेन?
आफ्टर 10।
सो
मैम 15 x ग्रेटर देन 15 लिखा है मैम आपने नीचे, तो
हाँ, तो क्या हो गया?
मतलब इसका ये हुआ ना मैम कि 15 के ऊपर ये वाला एप्लीकेबल हो रहा है।
मैंने तो आपको प्राइसिंग स्कीम ये बता दी है, अब भूल जाओ। आप बिल्कुल नॉर्मल जिंदगी में सोचो, इकोनॉमिक्स विकोनॉमिक्स भूल जाओ। आप एक दुकानदार के पास गए, उसने बोला 10 नोटबुक तक 10 रुपए लगेंगे, उसके ऊपर जितनी भी नोटबुक लोगे वो 5 रुपए में मिलेंगी। अब आपने जो है वो, आपको पता है मुझे 15 से ज्यादा नोटबुक्स खरीदनी है, तो आपका एक्सपेंडिचर फंक्शन बना के दिखाओ मेरे को।
मैम 5 मल्टीप्लाई बाय x-10।
हम्म।
मैम उसके बाद में ये y वाली चीज मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही।
आप ये सब भूल जाओ। आप 16 नोटबुक खरीद के लाए, ठीक है?
यस मैम।
कितने पैसे लगा के आए शॉप में?
मैम सबसे पहले 100 रुपीज तो पहली 10 नोटबुक के हो गए, उसके बाद में
हम्म।
मैम 130 रुपीज।
कैसे कैलकुलेट किया?
मैम पहली जो 10 कॉपी थी उसमें 10 × 10 कर दिया 100 रुपीज।
हम्म।
फिर मैम बाकी जो 6 कॉपीज के 5 है तो 6 5 = 30, तो
हम्म।
100 + 30।
हम्म। तो मैंने अब अगर आपको बोल दिया, इफ आई हैव टोल्ड यू दैट यू आर बाइंग मोर देन 15,
यस मैम।
can be anything, it can be 16, it can be 17, it can be 20. So how much expenditure are you making? If you are buying 15 notebooks, you are definitely buying 10 notebooks.
यस मैम।
So 10 notebooks, you will be spending 100 rupees.
यस मैम 100 रुपीज
Anything
एक्सपेंडिचर।
beyond that will cost you 5 rupees.
यस मैम।
Your x is greater than 15.
यस मैम।
So anything, any number x minus 10. What is the
यस
number
मैम।
of notebooks that you buy beyond 10? Will be x minus 10, right?
यस मैम x
X minus
-10।
10 into 5 plus 100.
यस मैम।
This is how you will find expenditure.
यस मैम।
So use the same logic here. For first 153 units, somebody was paying for me and I was only paying 0.16 units.
यस मैम।
So earlier it was cheaper. The notebook, it's reverse. Pehle they were expensive, then they became cheaper. Right?
मैम मुझे ये तो समझ आ गया, बस ये y वाला जो टर्म है खाली ये नहीं समझ आया, जो उधर हम 100 रुपए बना रहे थे उसका।
So this is all, this is expenditure on anything else. Whatever you don't spend on food is spent on anything else.
यस मैम।
Right?
यस मैम।
I calculated whatever I'm spending on X.
यस मैम।
So whatever I am not spending on X is spent on something else.
यस मैम।
So that is equals to my total income.
ओके मैम, नाउ आई गॉट इट।
This is what we are doing.
ओके मैम।
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, everybody clear with this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
So this is normal shopkeeping skills that you have to apply. Okay. Don't give
Yes.
the shopkeeper too much money. Okay. So what is my constraint? So this actually will be $25, right? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is my budget constraint? X minus 153 plus Y plus 25 is equals to M, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is my equation? X plus Y is equals to M plus 153 minus 25, right? X is greater than 153. So 153 minus 25 is how much?
128.
So this is M plus 128. This is when X is greater than 153. And if X is less than 153, what is my constraint? X plus Y is equals to M, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So far, so good. Okay. Sorry, my bad. It was not X plus Y is equals to M. It was 0.1.
Yes, ma'am.
0.16.
16.
Yes. This was the constraint, right? So let's plot it. Okay. So this is a situation when there is a food stamp program. This was my food stamp program. And if there were no program at all, nothing, nobody is doing anything, you are on your own, then what is your constraint? Expenditure on food plus expenditure on everything else is equals to M. You are on your own, nobody is paying for yourself. You take care of yourself. So that is when this is X plus Y is equals to M. That's all. No constraint, nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
No support. This is in case of no support or no program. Yes.
Yes.
So let's try to see these things. Are they helpful? How are they helpful? This is my food stamp program. This is no stamp situation. Okay, let's try to plot these. So how will we plot this X plus Y is equals to M line?
M1 x-axis, M1 y-axis.
Right? M, join these two and you are done. है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है? फिर this was my first situation. So, okay, this was no support. Now here, what do I have? This is X plus Y whenever X is greater than 153. So if I have to plot such a line, I will first plot both these lines and then I will see about what this point is. ठीक है? सबसे पहले what you have to do is plot these two lines and then later think about this breaking point. Where is it breaking? Okay. So, okay, X plus Y is equals to M plus 128. So how will we draw that?
On y-axis, M plus 128.
M plus 128 and then here also M plus 128, right? And we will just join these 2 points. Yes. Right?
Yes.
है ना? Okay. Now how will I draw this? So when X value is 0, what is the value of Y?
M.
M.
M. So this is exactly here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when Y is 0, what is the value of X?
M upon 0.16.
So this is M upon 0.16. So how much is that?
Ma'am, it's greater than M.
So this is greater than M. Okay, definitely yes. But here, what about this? Is it greater than this or less than this? So this is 100 divided by 16. That is 25 divided by 4m, right? So this is times 25 times 25. So how much is that? 6.25 m, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this x is 6.25 m. So it actually depends on what is the value of m, right? Whether it will be lying here, whether it will be lying somewhere here or somewhere here. Yes.
But in that case, we know that m is 100.
Do we know m is 100?
This is the example for second case, right?
Yes. This. Okay. Oh, right. The family has a monthly income of 100. Yes. Yes. So let's use that example. So in that case, what happens if m is 100? Then this is 625.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then x is 625 here. And what is this? 228.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
So this point is definitely greater somewhere here. ये वाला point जो है वो ज्यादा आगे होगा somewhere here, let's say 6.25 m, right? Very nice. Since है कि नहीं? This is clear. So what will I do? I will join these two lines as well. ये जो दो lines मैंने join कर दी. ठीक है? For now, just forget this also. Acha, don't forget. We will return to it. And we'll come back to it. So right now, two situations. One is this, one is this. Okay. So, and what is the intersection point of these two? Where is it intersecting? So how will we find that? So again, what is this 0.16? Where is this 0.16 coming from? This was 1 minus how much?
0.84.
This was, yeah, 0.84. And how was 0.84 coming? It was actually how much? 153 minus 25, right? Divided by
153.
This was the number, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And this times x plus y is equals to m. And the other equation that we have is x plus y is equals to m plus 128, right? So far, so good. You will see why I've written it like this, because these things will get cancelled neatly. ठीक है, यहाँ तक clear है?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's subtract these two. If we subtract these two, what do we get? This is 1 minus 153 minus 25 divided by 153 times x. And यहाँ पे y है प्लस, यहाँ पे माइनस x हो जाएगा, और ये y प्लस था, ये y माइनस, तो ये दोनों तो कैंसिल हो गए. ये m प्लस था, ये m भी प्लस था, और माइनस होके ये कैंसिल हो गया. और यहाँ पे क्या बचा? -128.
128. Yes, ma'am.
तो मेरे पास ये इक्वेशन बच जाएगी ना.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, subtracting these two. है ना? फाइन. तो क्या हुआ हमारे पास? दिस इज 153, एलसीएम लिया हमने, फिर -153, फिर इधर क्या हुआ? माइनस माइनस +25, राइट, डिवाइडेड बाय 153. यस, times x minus x is equals to -128. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is this? 25 by 153x minus x is equals to -128. So you can take x common. What do you get? 25 by 153 minus 1 is equals to -128. So now what happens? If you do the subtraction, you get -128 in the numerator, and then
Yes, ma'am.
153 is in the denominator. So what is the value of x?
153.
53, right? So the intersection is happening at 153 only, right? ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
है ना? तो फिर इसका क्या मतलब है कि ये जो पॉइंट था ये 153 है, एंड मे बी मेरी इनकम एम यहाँ नहीं होनी चाहिए बिकॉज इट वाज 100, वी वर अज्यूमिंग, राइट? सो मे बी इट शुड बी समवेयर हियर, राइट? सो ये पॉइंट 153 है. 153 से लेस में हम क्या यूज कर रहे हैं? दिस इक्वेशन, राइट? उसके
Yes,
ऊपर हम
ma'am.
लोग क्या यूज कर रहे हैं? दिस इक्वेशन. सो व्हाट इज रेलेवेंट फॉर मी? दिस लेस देन दिस पे एंड दिस ग्रेटर देन पे. तो मेरी जो बजट लाइन है वो ये हो गई ना, ये वाला पॉइंट, फिर ये वाली लाइन, और ये जो एरिया है दिस विल बी not relevant for me. This will not be relevant for me. है ना? यहाँ पे स्लोप क्या है? यहाँ पे स्लोप क्या है? यहाँ पे स्लोप चेक करनी है तो ये वाली लाइन की स्लोप चेक करोगे.
मैम वो फिर उसका स्लोप अलग भी हो जाएगा.
हाँ, तो दोनों का स्लोप अलग है. वी आर नॉट सेइंग इट इज द सेम.
मैम बट वो चेक हम वो ब्लैकिश लाइन की कर रहे हैं और वो फिर आपने कहा कि डॉटेड की देखेंगे.
नहीं, मैंने कब बोला? मैं तो इसी की बोल रही हूँ ना. दिस व्हाट आई एम सेइंग.
ओके मैम.
ठीक है.
यस मैम.
तो फिर इसकी स्लोप क्या है?
1.
-P1/P2 which is 1. इसकी स्लोप क्या है?
-1 by 1 point. Sorry, what is the value, ma'am?
-0.16.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
यस मैम.
और ये फ्लैट भी है और ये स्टीप है. ये स्टीप है ना, और ये
Yes,
फ्लैट है,
ma'am.
और वो हमें देखने को भी मिल रहा है. तो इस स्कीम में हमारी बजट लाइन जो है वो इस तरीके से चेंज हो रही है, राइट? फाइन. ये स्कीम समझ में आ गई? आर वी क्लियर विद
Yes, ma'am.
स्कीम?
और मैम खाली स्लोप वाले में थोड़ा सा डाउट है कि हम इसमें स्लोप में क्या कर रहे हैं.
स्लोप कैसे निकालते हैं किसी भी लाइन का?
P1/P2.
ये हमें क्लियर है.
यस मैम.
तो अगर मैं ये बोल रही हूँ कि मुझे इस एरिया की स्लोप चाहिए, राइट, तो इसका मतलब मैं
ma'am.
इस लाइन से स्लोप निकालना चाह रही हूँ।
Yes, ma'am.
तो यहाँ पे P1 क्या है 1, P2 क्या है 1,
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है। अब मैं बोल रही हूँ कि अगर मुझे यहाँ से स्लोप निकालनी है, इफ आई हैव टू फाइंड द स्लोप फ्रॉम हियर, देन आई वांट टू लुक एट दिस लाइन।
Yes, ma'am.
So what is P1 here? 0.16. What is P2 here? 1.
Yes,
So what is my slope? Negative of 0.16 divided by 1,
yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
Is that all right?
Yes,
समझ आ गया?
yes, ma'am.
Okay जी. Very nice. Everybody okay with the scheme?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. So, okay. So guys, almost more or less we are through with the chapter. There are 2-3 points that I have to make. This was the main, example in your textbook, which was not very, very clearly given. वो अगर आप वहां से करोगे तो बहुत सारी चीजें जो है वो बस शब्दों में ही आप समझते रह जाओगे, बट ये हमने बिल्कुल डिटेल्ड एनालिसिस यहाँ पे कर लिया है. यू विल बी केपेबल enough now to attempt all the workout problems. So start working on that. ठीक है? We've understood all the concepts which are necessary for you to do that. Start reviewing the back questions from your Varian book. So those book के back के question जो book के पीछे दिए हुए हैं, there are 7-8 questions, and they are not too numerical actually. They are in terms of language. So try attempting that and start working on the workout problems. ठीक है? And start posting whatever doubts you have. And yeah, so ठीक है, जो भी doubts हो, keep posting that. We'll soon be announcing a doubt session for this. Okay?
So, ma'am, from next class, we'll start the new chapter.
We will first take all your doubts. I will also like to discuss a few questions before we jump on to the next topic.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So your next session will be questions and 2-3 points that I have to make from this along with your doubts. And then we will be going to the next topic. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. I'll also be posting a few questions for you to attempt. Okay? All right. Thank you guys. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.